Hey internet. So the Lisa skin event is out right now. It's been out for 1 hour in the Asia server. It will be released in the Europe and North America server shortly within your time zone, so plus minus 9 hours, I believe. 9 to 12 hours. Okay, so I'll just start the quest. You do need some prerequisites, so we can look at that. So you need AR-20, you need the Archon quest, Song of the Dragon and Freedom, and you need to complete Lisa's story. And there will be 5 days of events. You do those 5 days, get the points, and you'll get Lisa's skin. So Samiru.
Go, Barbara, go!
So this will be like a 10-minute video. I won't, like, if the quiz takes longer than 10 minutes, then I'll just cut the video.
Greetings! Welcome!
Are there any easy... Really? That's all? That isn't nearly enough for Pine. Yeah.
There are several... They have been under... They offer substantial pay, but they... Yes, let's walk through the recruitment process. First, very good. How's your understanding of Element? Alright. You'll have to find... According to the he sounded like...
Alright, cool. This feels like a long quest. Alright.
Do you still remember what the coffee's like here?
That camera placement. Interesting.
Of course. How could I forget? It used to be my go-to drink here. Listen, Gafoor. I suppose I should call you Professor Gafoor now. We're old acquaintances, so how about we stop beating around the bush, hmm? First you wanted to catch up, and now the coffee. If you have something to say, just say it.
Oh, that's Gafoor. He's the one we're searching for. But he seems to be busy talking with someone else. Maybe we should wait for them to finish.
Lisa's voice. Unmistakable.
Oh, well, it's nothing really. It's just that ever since you left the academia, our original projects and plans have lost their backbone, so to speak. Cyrus is also disappointed. He's always valued you as a proud disciple. To be honest, it's a real shame that you left the academia, Lisa. With your wisdom and intellect, had you stayed in the academia, you would have become a Herbot by now.
Hold on. That's Lisa. The librarian. Paimon heard that Lisa had studied at the academia before, but that was a long time ago.
If I'm reading the situation right, you're reminiscing about the past to convince me to come back, aren't you?
Well, I heard that you're currently the librarian for the Knights of Favonius in Mondstadt. If you ask me, that's a tragic waste of your talents. Why waste your time and energy on something as trivial as taking care of a library? Your time is much more valuable than that. If you're willing to come back to the academia, I have plenty of projects for you to preside over right away. The academia needs people right now, and some of these projects are quite important.
Yawn. So all this talk is to convince me to come back. I'm guessing Professor Cyrus doesn't know that you're talking to me about this.
As a matter of fact, he has long wanted you to come back and work at the academia.
Is that so? You know, Professor Gafoor, it isn't a good idea to lie to people. Our teacher knows exactly why I left the academia after only 2 years. He would never ask me to come back. Giving up my life in Mondstadt and returning to the academia as a Spontamod researcher. The price of seeking wisdom is no longer something I'm willing to pay. So please, don't bother trying to get me to come back.
Wow. So Lisa used to be a Spontamod researcher? Paimon's never seen it before.
Besides, taking care of a library is important work. I've never considered it a waste of my time.
I wonder why they capitalize is. I mean, to emphasize it, but okay.
Wisdom is hidden in every corner of the world. Never underestimate wisdom, no matter how small it may appear. That's what our teacher always said. A good scholar wouldn't overlook the small details, Gafoor. I'm sorry. I'm still not used to calling you Professor. Nevertheless, the underlying meaning of what you just said is simply wrong. And there's one other detail you probably haven't noticed. Two people have been eavesdropping on us for quite a while now. Is there anything we can help you two with?
Hello, Lisa?
Well, if it isn't you two. Long time no see, cutie. Paimon.
Excuse me, but what business do you two have here?
Well, actually, we're here to participate in a research project on ley lines for Spontamod. We just finished registering with Effendi.
A research project on ley lines? Oh, darling. You haven't joined the academia, have you?
Right. Effendi told us a research project is looking for paid volunteers. That's what we came to see Gafoor about.
Paid volunteers? Gafoor, is the academia really that understaffed? Or are there projects that insist on the use of outsiders?
No. The paid volunteers are for a conventional project to monitor the ley lines. All operations follow the prescribed safety protocols. We rely on a lot of manpower to collect the data. There's no way around it now. But if only you would agree to come back and preside over some matters, we wouldn't have to go through all this nonsense.
If memory serves me right, collecting ley lines data requires investigators to go deep into domains, which can be dangerous.
We've seen our fair share of combat since leaving Mondstadt. Exploring a domain is like a walk in the park to us.
It's been so long now. I can only imagine what wonderful stories you have to share.
So there's nothing to worry about.
Since you two are here to apply for the project, then please wait a moment while I talk to Lisa.
I'm sorry, Gafoor. My answer is still no.
Aren't you even a little bit interested?
I have never regretted my decision to leave the academia. And I don't think that will change in the future.
I thought after all this time you would have a different answer. But you're still as obstinate as ever, Lisa. You've made yourself clear. I'll only make a fool of myself if I keep insisting. In that case, I still have unfinished business to take care of, so I'll take my leave. See you at the Darshan reunion in a few days.
Yes. Don't worry. I'll be there on time.
As for you two, please come see me later in the Mautiima Forest when you're free. We'll need your help with the volunteer work. Oh, and one last thing, Lisa.
Yes?
I wish you the best of luck in Mondstadt.
Thank you.
Alright, that's cool.
Well then, cuties. Now that the recruiter is gone, we can sit down and have a good chat.
Okay, it's nearing the 10-minute mark, so we'll finish this cutscene and we'll call it.
Much has been happening within the academia, and Gafoor is paving the way for his future.
By the way, Lisa, what brought you to Sumeru? Are the Knights okay with you being gone?
Of course. Jean gave me an extended paid vacation. It's rare that I get any time off, so I thought to myself, why not go on a trip and relax a little? I don't know how much of our conversation you heard, but I studied in the Spontamod Darshan at the academia for 2 years. But instead of staying at the academia after graduation, I went back to Mondstadt to become the librarian for the Knights of Favonius.
So that's why you came to Sumeru, right? To walk around and meet with your old friends and teachers.
You'd like to know, wouldn't you? Well, I guess it wouldn't hurt if I told you. After all, it was ages ago. If anything, it all boils down to a difference in philosophy. When I first came to the academia, Professor Cyrus really appreciated my work and invited me to participate in several major projects. But most of those projects ended in failure. To be honest, they went too far trying to achieve wisdom beyond mortal understanding, so failure was only to be expected. I didn't want any part of that lunacy, so I left. Anyway, now that I told you, make sure you keep it between us.
Sounds like you've experienced.
I don't wish to return to the academia, even if Professor Cyrus came to ask me personally. Rather than conducting experiments day and night, I'm much more suited for working hours that start after 10 a.m., with regular afternoon tea every day.
Oh, Lisa chose to be a librarian because she doesn't want to deal with hassles all the time.
I prefer to take things at my own pace when it comes to tiring tasks like a job. And besides, being able to take regular vacations is also really important. It's a pity I didn't even have time to visit that child in Gandharvaville yet. Gafoor found me just after I arrived in Sumeru. Speaking of which, what about you two? I see. Even I didn't expect them to be so bent on their pursuit, wanting to even surpass the god. Sounds like you were involved in some remarkable events again, and I was completely unaware. And to think, you were even able to handle a crisis of that magnitude. Cutie, your abilities are really beyond measure. Having accomplished such a feat, I'm sure you must have a lot on your plate right now. I was actually thinking about inviting you two to walk around Sumeru with me. What a pity. It's very rare for us to meet like this. Oh, then would you like to spend some time with me, darling? That would be wonderful. I plan to spend the next few days visiting around Sumeru City. At the end of my stay, I'll leave from Gandharvaville and return to Mondstadt via Liyue. Who knows? Perhaps we'll bump into each other again in Sumeru City or Gandharvaville. Come to think of it, there's something romantic about such a chance encounter like this. It's like icing on the cake for this little vacation of mine. If you see me around, be sure to come and say hello. Otherwise, I might start feeling lonely.
Okay, we will call that video. So that's a domain, and I guess you got to complete 5 domains over 5 days. So I guess we'll teleport the domain, why not? But we won't start it because I know the domain will take a little while. Okay. Alright. So, thanks for watching, hope you had a great day. Be sure to like, subscribe, share with your friends, ring the bell, turn on all notifications. Leave a comment below if you use Lisa or you like her skin. Until next time, see ya.